Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat. Grandma, 1 comma. 2 completely different sentences. One saves Grandma, one does not. Here's the truth. In the next 4 minutes, I'm going to give you the 5 comma rules that cover 95% of everything you'll ever write. No textbook, no confusing terms. This is the easiest one. Whenever you're listing 3 or more things in a sentence, put a comma after each item except the last one. Example, I need eggs, milk, butter, and flour. See how there's a comma after eggs, milk, and butter? That's it. That's the rule. Now, rule 2. This one trips up almost everyone. When you join 2 complete sentences with words like and, but, so, or, yet, for, nor, put a comma before that word. Those 7 words have a name. Fanboys. F-A-N-B-O-Y-S. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Example, I wanted to go to the gym, but I was too tired. Both sides of but are complete sentences. I wanted to go to the gym. Full sentence. I was too tired. Full sentence. 2 full sentences plus fanboy's word equals comma before it. But, and this is key, if the second part is not a full sentence, no comma needed. I wanted to go to the gym, but felt tired. Felt tired is not a full sentence. No comma. Simple. Rule 3. After an introduction. Rule 3. The intro rule. Whenever your sentence starts with an introductory phrase, use a comma to separate it from the main sentence. Think of it like an opening act before the main show. The comma is the curtain drop. Examples. After the meeting, we went for coffee. In 2024, everything changed. Because it was raining, we stayed inside. See the pattern? Something happens first, comma, then the main point. A quick test. If you can remove the opening part and the sentence still makes sense, put a comma after that opening part. Rule 4. Extra information. Rule 4. This one is called non-essential information, but let me explain it without the jargon. Sometimes you add extra information into the middle of a sentence. Information that, if you removed it, the sentence would still make complete sense. That extra bit, wrap it in commas, like little brackets. My brother, who lives in New York, is visiting next week. Remove the middle part. My brother is visiting next week. Still makes sense. So the extra info gets commas on both sides. But watch this. The man who stole my wallet was caught. Can you remove who stole my wallet? The man was caught. Yes. But now we don't know which man, so this time, no commas. The information is essential. The key question, can I remove it without losing the meaning? Yes. Use commas. No, no commas. Rule 5. Direct address. Rule 5. The one that saves lives. When you're speaking directly to someone, use a comma to separate their name from the rest of the sentence. We're back to Grandma. Let's eat, Grandma. You're calling her to dinner. She's safe. Let's eat, Grandma. She is the dinner, not safe. More examples. Thanks, John. Can you help me, Sarah? I don't know, man. The comma says, hey, I'm talking to you, not about you. The number 1 mistake. Before I go, the most common comma mistake people make. It's called a comma splice. This is when you use a comma to join 2 full sentences without a joining word. I finished my work. I went home. That's wrong. 2 full sentences need more than just a comma. Fix it 3 ways. I finished my work and I went home. Add fanboys. I finished my work. I went home. Use a period. I finished my work. I went home. Use a semicolon. See a comma alone joining 2 full sentences? It's wrong. Every time. So let's recap. 5 rules. That's all you need. 1. Lists. Comma after every item except the last. 2. Fanboys joining 2 full sentences, comma before the joining word. 3. Intro phrases, comma after the opener. 4. Extra information, comma on both sides if you can remove it. 5. Talking to someone, comma before their name. And avoid the comma splice. Don't join two full sentences with just a comma. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I post short, simple English lessons every week.